Okay. I want to tell you about a strange little tension buried inside a new European law. And it's the kind of thing that once you see it, you can't quite unsee it. The law is called the Cyber Resilience Act. It doesn't matter if you know the details. The one-line version is that it's Europe trying to make connected products, all the smart devices and software out there, actually secure. It is a good goal and hard to argue with. One of the first pieces of it to come into force is a reporting rule. It's pretty simple. If you make one of these products and you get solid evidence that someone out there is actively attacking a weakness in it, hole nobody has fixed yet, you've got 24 hours to raise your hand and report it. It has to be done within 24 hours to raise your hand to the authorities. And to Europe's cyber agency at the same time. Fine. Sounds responsible. Report the fire while it's still burning. But now do the thing the people who wrote the law had to do. Zoom out, because it's not just you filing one report. It's every company all across Europe filing these reports every single day, and each one describes a live, unpatched, currently being attacked weakness in a product that's out in the world right now. Add all of that up, and ask yourself what you just built. You built a single, constantly updated list of exactly the information an attacker would kill for. The freshest holes, the ones with no fix yet, all of it flowing into one place. It might be one of the most valuable targets you could possibly design. And here's the part I love, in a slightly dark way. The people who wrote the law knew this. You can actually see it in the text. They built the whole thing to be about openness, about sharing. And then they had to go back and add these little secret escape hatches, rules that basically say, actually in some cases, don't share this right away. Hold it back, keep it quiet for now. Think about what that means. An openness law that had to be fitted with valves for secrecy, aimed at its own design. That's an honest confession about what they were really building. And this isn't just paranoia, because we've kind of seen this movie before. There was a vulnerability called Eternal Blue. A government agency found it, and instead of getting it fixed, they kept it, sat on it, until one day it leaked. And shortly after that, it got turned into WannaCry and NotPetya, two of the most destructive cyber attacks in history. Hospitals, shipping giants, whole systems knocked over around the world. Now, this new law isn't doing that. It's not building a weapon, but it is doing the one thing that made Eternal Blue so dangerous in the first place. It's creating concentration. It's making sure the most dangerous, least fixed stuff all ends up in one spot. And a spot like that is worth exactly as much to the people trying to protect us as it is to the people trying to hurt us. There's even a deeper question hiding underneath all this. Once a collection like that exists, the interesting question stops being, is it encrypted? And quietly turns into who, in the end, can force their way in and take it. The law doesn't answer that one. It just makes it a much more urgent question to be asking. So where does that leave you if you're actually the one making these products? Honestly, most of the worry goes to the wrong place. People fixate on the deadline. 24 hours, the clock, the countdown. But the deadline isn't really the hard part. The hard part is knowing when the clock even started, because those 24 hours don't begin when you understand the problem. They begin the moment you could reasonably be said to know that something's wrong, and that might be a single alert in the middle of the night long before anyone on your team has figured out a thing. Then later, when someone asks whether you reported in time, the question won't be how fast you fixed it. It'll be whether you can show exactly when you first knew. So if you take just one thing from this, it was never really about the database or the deadline or the technology. The whole game comes down to those 24 hours and being able to prove when they began. And that's it. That's the whole strange, quiet little tension a law built to bring things into the light that had to teach itself how to keep a secret. Thanks for listening.